Hello and welcome back to Custom Gamer. My name is Daz and this is the show where we talk about level design or playing cool maps. Now there hasn't been a video on the channel for about a week. This is the reason why. I've been playing Underhell, Source mod, which has taken me completely by surprise. It's about 16 to 18 hours long depending on the time you take to go through it. It's an amazingly crafted experience. And it has some of the most memorable characters and voice acting that I think I've ever seen in a Source mod. The quality is so high, you really end up investing yourself in some of the characters in this mod. And the presentation is practically flawless throughout. There's a fantastic attention to detail. And because the story is so intricate and finely woven into the gameplay, I'm going to do something a little bit different for this video. I'm not going to do a full-on playthrough, I'm just going to show you one section of the mod and kind of talk about some of the mechanics and how it works, trying to avoid as many spoilers as possible, although there's probably minor spoilers in this video, so just be forewarned. If you want the TLDR version, go and download this mod right now and play it. It's one of the best Source mods I think I've ever seen, and it's definitely worth your time. If you need a bit more than that, then stick around and we'll get into some gameplay. So, Underhell is an episodic release. The first part was released in 2011. The second part, which is what I'm going to show you today, was released about a week ago. Got my attention on ModDB. And the first part is a prologue, which takes around a good 4 to 6 hours in itself to play through. This is about an hour into the start of Chapter 1.
Field. Alright, I'll call it in. They should have a cell ready for him when you get there.
Understood. Open the doors.
Opening.
So again, I'm trying to avoid a lot of story spoilers here, but after some exposition and story plot goings on in part 1, you are sent to prison. And you have this interesting kind of third-person intro to the whole prison environment. The game is first-person, but it has a lot of crazy stuff going on where camera angles will change. There's some very interesting sections in the prologue where there's some very interesting use of cameras and kind of lens effects and things like that.
Leave me alone, man. I got nothing to do with this.
That's not what I heard. I heard you were the man.
Well, you heard
Now,
wrong,
the
right?
level design, especially the visuals themselves, take a very definite turn upwards at the start of the latest release chapter. There's a definite increase in quality kind of all around. The levels are actually very, very nice to look at. Great lighting in all of them. Some great use of projected textures for things like flashlights and all kinds of different level effects, like lights shooting through fans which are spinning and things like that. It's all used very, very tastefully, and it all enhances the atmosphere, which is very, very tense all the way through. So here you're kind of being shown around the environment. You're being taken to your cell by the guards. And the thing I really, really like about this mod is that the level design is completely continuous all the way through. There's no kind of jumps. If you think in Half-Life 2, the level transitions are very, very seamless. You can kind of go between them. It's kind of that concept taken up to 11 in this mod, where you can kind of walk around the entire prison complex. And once you've kind of gained a few keys and items which let you progress through the environments, you can kind of walk from one side of the prison to the other in a very seamless fashion, which lends the mod this incredible sense of place. You're kind of exploring around and you'll come across a room that's perhaps above another room that you were in like 10 hours earlier in the mod, and it just completely blows your mind that you've kind of come in this full circle.
Gas mask or no gas mask? People are dying, and it appears to be completely random. You heard about Rick?
Yeah, I heard about Rick. Just messing around with other inmates, so why are you surprised?
Yeah, well, that inmate didn't die in his cell, so I'm guessing it's pretty clean. Cell W17.
Alright, open up.
So again, you're getting a bit more exposition here. There's something not quite right going on in the prison. inmates are dying and you're not sure why. And all will be revealed a bit later on. So looking around the environment here, you're kind of seeing lots of vents up on the walls and kind of vent openings on the walls. And there's various little cupboards and things which are all actually explained in various other sequences in the game, which I really don't want to get into because it's a little bit spoilery. But there are sequences in the game that kind of explain game mechanics, and then the same assets used in these sequences are again shown later on in levels, where they kind of, you pick up on them as a player, like, ah, I've seen this before, I know how it works. And generally it's kind of a very, very story-driven approach to introducing new mechanics like this. So for instance, saving in this game, you have to walk up to clipboards on the wall and use them, and it writes the character's name on the clipboard and then saves the game for you. This is kind of explained very, very organically through a cutscene. You're being escorted through the environment by a guard, similar to this actually. And you're forced to walk through a series of checkpoints where you have to sign your name down to get through, and it saves the game each time you do it. You probably noticed the voice acting is absolutely brilliant. Again, this is one of the things that really, really drew me into this mod. The characters are so well developed and they're all voice acted brilliantly. I mean, how many Source mods can you count where as soon as the NPC opens his mouth you just want to kill them instantly? Whereas in here the characters are all interesting, you end up knowing them all by name, and you end up empathising with a lot of them, which is so rare in a mod. It really, really speaks to the quality of this. So that was the intro to the prison environment. We're going to skip a little bit ahead now, where things have kind of gone slightly awry. And we can get into some more mechanics of the game, and just the atmosphere of dread that it exudes from every orifice. Okay, so you can see here I just saved it a clipboard. That's how that mechanic works. So again, this is about another hour into the mod from the stuff you just saw. You actually start off with no weapons, and something has gone very, very awry in the prison. I don't want to get too much into it because, again, story spoilers. But you notice here you have a full-on inventory. Bring it up by pressing the I key. You have things like bandages, various food that you can eat and drink. You can pick up items from the environment, which goes into your inventory for later use. And one of the things I really like about this game is that it has a dead zone aiming system, a kind of a dual zoom system, similar to mods like DayZ. So firing from the hip becomes extremely inaccurate because you have this dead zone aim where you can actually aim your gun around the screen without actually moving your view, which makes hip firing very, very difficult. It's also extremely fun to actually play with. So you can aim down sights, which zooms your view a little, and then you can press the Z key to zoom even further. It's similar to the suit zoom in Half-Life, but it's just kind of repurposed here, so you can zoom just about anything you're doing, even when you're aiming down sights. So you can be extremely accurate.
I've just lost contact with Matthew a few minutes ago. As far as I can tell, he was in the northeast wing. Alright, you want to be careful, because if he's already turned off the power in the first relay, well, just be careful.
It's one of your friends radioing you from a safe room. So you can see you can find PDAs and various other things in the environment that you can read. Some of them just contain backstory, a lot of them contain things like door codes, which are randomly generated actually. There's a lot of random generation and stuff like that going on in this game. So things like supply cupboards will have items randomly generated, door codes will be randomly generated, and even the PDAs containing those door codes will change location, I believe, on different playthroughs. Now, ammo for the most part can be fairly scarce when you're first starting out, and using melee weapons is fairly recommended. Later on, ammo becomes more plentiful. So you notice here I'm also picking up various collectibles in the environment. So you've got these, there is a certain character which I really don't want to spoil because he's one of my favourite characters in the game, but you find him crawling around in the vents. He's kind of like this old hermit that's been in charge of cleaning the vents for years, and you meet him shortly after the prison goes to hell. And he gives you these tasks to find these playing cards in the environment, and he'll give you various rewards depending on how many you find. His dialogue is some of the best in the game as well, it's absolutely hilarious. So this game also has a fairly serious stealth element. It's based on things like the equipment you're using. So for instance, this pistol makes a lot of noise when fired, which attracts enemies. You can actually pick up a silencer for it later on, which is very handy. So things like your noise level, if you're using the flashlight, that'll also attract enemies. They'll actually see the spotlight beam and be drawn to it. There are actually glow sticks you can pick up in the environment which are basically invisible to enemies but give you a little bit of light that you can use. I love the fact that there's so many things in the environment which actually aid you as well. So things like maps, it's not just like a button you can press to bring up a map of the environment, they're all actually on the walls and you have to go up to them and read them. There's an incredible sense of environment interaction where you're actually literally searching around for things and looking at maps on the walls to find your way around. There's not a lot of kind of UI to give you hints on what to do. There are a lot of instances of things like glowing items, similar to Left 4 Dead, where like levers that you're looking for will glow on the wall when you get close to them and things like that. But for the most part the UI is fairly minimal. Now here I'm unscrewing this wall vent. You can't actually do this at the start of the game. You actually have to pick up tools. Again, talking to the vent man that I mentioned earlier. He'll give you a quest. I say quest, but that's basically what it is. And if you complete it, he'll give you tools to open these vents. This is a cool mechanic because you can open these standard vents just by using them and they'll break like that. But various other vents you can't actually access until you complete things like that. Again, this is going back to the continuous nature of the environment. So you're actually blocked progression-wise by the actual items you've unlocked rather than kind of invisible walls or various gamey reasons. I've just picked up a shotgun here, which is awesome. The shotgun is the one great hip-fire weapon, so if you're in a kind of a hectic situation, you don't have time to aim properly, then the shotgun's your best bet. Again, here you can see the double aim on the iron sights there, using the Z key. A shotgun is also one of the noisiest weapons in the game, so when you use it, you better be ready to fight a large horde of enemies. I think I got away with it here quite nicely. Now, one of the best accomplishments in this mod is really the atmosphere you get all the way through. It is so tense. And it's not through jump scares or anything like that, it's the fact that you understand the situation you're in, and your situation has been explained to you so well, and the characters involved are so memorable and likeable, that you really actually comprehend the situation and understand the risks. And that is why the mod is so scary in places. Because for the most part you understand what's chasing you, and it's terrifying. And again, I really don't want to go any more into it than that for fear of story spoilers. This is one of the closets you can hide in. This is very similar mechanic to kind of the Amnesia games by Frictional Games. Almost identical, in fact. I feel like the Frictional Games have had a large influence on the developers of this game, because there's a lot of mechanics which are very, very similar to the Amnesia and the And hey, if you're going to do first-person survival horror, then as far as I'm concerned, fictional games are the masters. So you can see I lost the zombie. Used a shotgun to lure him back. And even closing doors, you aren't safe. Again, at the beginning of this prison, when you first break out, you don't actually have any weapons at all and you're being pursued by these zombies, and you have really no way to deal with them apart from using your environment to your advantage. You can also see here there's a full body damage modelling system, so you can take off individual arms and legs from enemies. You can even pick them up afterwards and throw them around. The attention to detail is exquisite all the way through. All the models are extremely high quality. Animations as well. Honestly, I think the biggest accolade I can give to this game is that if I'd paid money for it, I wouldn't feel ripped off. It's actually legitimate quality here that I wouldn't mind paying money for. So here's a map of the level. And these are kind of scattered throughout the environment. You actually have to use them, they're legitimately helpful to let you find your way around. So a lot of the areas can start to feel a little bit similar after a while. So the maps come in extremely handy there. So those bandages there will stop you bleeding. If you're hit too much by an enemy, you can actually start bleeding, and your health slowly depletes while that is active. And if you don't have any bandages, you're in a lot of trouble. Generally, enemies do a lot of damage in this game. Your health depletes very, very quickly if you're not careful. Another great thing about those maps is that there's a big red arrow saying you are here that kind of changes depending on the location you're in, obviously, which is again very, very handy for getting your bearings. So there's actually security guards that have been turned to zombies as well. And these guys are actually armoured, so you need a couple of headshots to take them down. Generally, headshots are super rewarding in this game. You really want to go for them to conserve ammo. So here you can see I'm using a green chem light, so I can see slightly without using the flashlight. When you use the chem lights, they attach to your person, like you're seeing here. You can actually go back into the inventory, right click a currently active chem light and drop it in the environment. You can then pick it up and throw it around wherever you want it. That is an option. And again, the chem lights don't attract enemies, so you can use it as a kind of stealth visibility option. Now notice the flashlight you actually have to hold in your hand as well. This is very deliberate. So you can only use a one-handed weapon with this flashlight. Later on in the game you do get an upgrade to a helmet flashlight, so you can use other weapons. But right now you're limited to this, and it's pretty creepy. So here we found the key code to a door, which we'll later find. And this is an interesting kind of side effect of the random generation that this game uses, is that sometimes you can find door keys before you find the actual door. And again, because there's no real UI, you have to kind of remember the key code. A really nice feature though is that when you get to the door here, it'll actually show the key code if you found it on the top of the screen. So you see there it's got 7189. That's a nice feature. I didn't notice it for a little while actually. I did a couple of doors just like writing down the codes or memorizing them. But yeah, it's a great idea to actually show it there if you found it. So you can also use flares like this. They give you more light, but of course they produce a lot of sound as well, and zombies will notice them. And again, you can throw these as well to light up areas.
Freeze.
Jake? It's alright, everyone. Lower your weapons. He's with me.
So, he's part of your little group, isn't he?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he is.
Another guard? I don't remember him. Which wing did he come from?
He's a recent transfer. He's new here, and he has no idea what's going on in here. So don't bother asking me any questions about this, situation. Jake, hey. Have you seen Takeo?
So what should we do now, Eric?
Listen, the plan remains the same, alright? We need to turn this power relay off so we can access the core.
Oh yeah? If I'm not mistaken, that'll open every single cell door on this level. We've survived thus far by just hiding in the security rooms and getting supplies from the kitchen. We'd be containing these freaks in their cells. And now you just want us to open up everything? You're absolutely crazy!
The only way we're gonna get out of here alive is if we restart the fucking generator. And for that, we need access to the core. In order to access the core, we must deviate all the useless power by turning it off. It's that simple. I told you 10 times.
I'm still not convinced though. Everyone, on me!
Malcolm? No, wait. He's with us.
Wait, how many of you guys are out there? We're supposed to stay in our locations and wait for backup.
And where did you get that order? Hey, Malcolm. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Who are you? And where is Terry?
Hey, it's me, Matthew. Terry stayed at the control room. He's guiding us through the radio. Did he tell you about our plan?
Yes, he did. He also asked me to test the core access just now. From what I heard, you guys managed to turn off all the power in the south wing.
Oh, really? And did it work?
No luck. Consoles are powered now. All the lights are flipping on and off, and there's low tension. Whatever you guys are doing, it's working. We just need a little bit more power, and I bet I can get this door open.
Oh, I get it. This is a trick, right? You sent one of your guys back there to try and convince me, is that it?
What is he talking about? Who is this?
For fuck's sake, Eric, really? Malcolm, Eric wasn't really part of our group. I just met him and his friends. They managed to stay alive by hiding and scavenging just like us. But they didn't have a radio. That's why we couldn't get in touch with them. He didn't know everything we talked about, but now I just told him and he refuses to accept the truth. Damn it, where's Takeo?
Yeah, your friend hasn't returned yet.
Who?
I came here with a partner. When I met up with Eric, I started briefing him while Takeo went to investigate a noise looking for survivors. Eric said there might be survivors in the offices, so he took the radio to stay in touch with Ben and Terry, while I was gonna wait for him here.
Well, I do have a radio. Terry, do you copy?
Yes, I hear you, Malcolm. What is it?
Just met with Matthew, Eric, and what's your name, fella?
His name is Jake.
And Jake. We're all gathered here. Apparently Takeo went missing. Matthew here is trying to convince Eric that we need to turn off the power in that wing to access the core and get out of here. But Eric is being skeptical about it. I figured if he'd hear it from the Chief of Security, maybe it would change his mind.
I see. Eric Roberts, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Eric, my name is Terrence Mason. I'm Chief of Security for the penitential facility on this level, as well as General Security on levels 2 and 3. This situation is critical, and we have received no orders even though we have a working radio feed. Our group has come up with a plan, but it requires your full cooperation and assistance. We need to turn off the power in as many areas as we can so that the core can be accessed in order to go down to the maintenance area to reboot the generator, which will hopefully allow us to get out of here. Now, can I count on you, or do I have to come down there and turn off the bloody thing myself?
You can count on me, sir. We'll provide any possible assistance.
Delighted to hear that. Now, I place Matthew here in charge. Do everything he says as he says it, as I'm pretty sure he has a plan to ensure everyone's survival. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Wait, what about me? How do we open this bloody gate?
If I remember correctly, I think the controls are on your side. Yeah, that room over there.
I know, I checked, but it's not working.
Not enough power?
I don't know, but it's not working.
Damn. Either way, when we access the core, we're gonna need someone in the east wing to open it up from the inside. We We don't have a cipher.
Wait, are you gonna leave me out here?
Wait, what?
We have no choice. You'll be fine. They won't be able to get through the gate, and you can actually help us. You have a weapon?
Yes, but I don't have a lot of ammo. I mean...
You'll do your best. Listen, keep that radio of yours close. We're gonna turn the power off and run like hell back to the Western L-Wing. From there, we can access the core. You open up from your side and voila.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait, you're expecting us to run back into the Western L-Wing? Are you insane? There's over 100 inmates in that wing, and that's not even counting the ones in isolation. We'll never make it.
That's why we need to set up barricades. Round up your men.
So there's a great example of some of the voice acting and storytelling in the mod. Now, I suppose the only criticism I have of these cutscenes is that some of them could be extremely long. This is one of them. Has a small break here, but then it goes into another one in a moment, which might test a few people's patience, but
Alright, everyone.
the writing
Listen,
carried me through.
We've managed to contact the Chief of Security. He's assured us that the plan is solid. He's also asked me to put Matthew here in charge. So, you'll all do as he says. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
They're all yours.
The plan is simple. Turn the power off and run back to the Western L-Wing. We're gonna go through the offices to avoid direct confrontation from the inmates in the isolation block. I need volunteers to go and set up barricades between the offices and the isolation blocks. Also, Jake, I need you to go back to the basketball court and make sure that the gate is open. Since the automatic doors from the security transition require electricity, make sure that these doors are closed, and we will get through the laundry and figure a way to block those doors from the inside. Whenever any of you are done with your current task, make sure to look everywhere to find anything we can use to our advantage. Anything we can use as a weapon or anything we can use to delay them. Check the offices, the cafeteria, everything.
You got it.
Alright, you know what to do. When you're all done, let's meet up here and flip the switch. Good luck.
Okay, so we've got to go and check that the doors are in the correct positions. And then we're going to turn off the power, which will release everyone in this cell block. Which sounds like an utterly terrible plan, but again, story spoilers I don't want to go into, but you need to turn off all the power to free up resources for other things. Rocking the red chem light this time. You start to get really good at the headshots after a while. When it really becomes an issue of ammo conservation, you start to really take your time and explore every nook and cranny for extra ammo. So you can see here you've got the doors highlighted in the environment. This is one of a few areas where they show up from a really long way away. Some people won't like the object highlighting. I think it's really beneficial though. It really helps you travel in the right direction, because again some of the environments can be fairly samey. I believe there's an option to turn off the highlighting if you don't like it, but I recommend against it, especially on a first playthrough. I suppose this is a fairly good example of environment being reused multiple times. This happens a couple of times in the game, where an environment you'll travel through it several different times doing different tasks the whole way. I suppose it really depends how you played the area the first time through. Checking all the doors this time through is a little bit uneventful because I killed everything the first time around, so we'll just go straight back to the guys here.
Good. It's all settled then.
Well, we can't start running immediately after turning off the power, else we'll end up cut off near the canteen.
You're right. We need to make a stand here. Take down the first wave and start running. Those lights run on batteries?
Yes, sir.
Good. Jake, you go flip the switch whenever you're ready.
Alright, so we're going to set our plan in motion. So you notice here I'm picking up batteries in the environment as well, so your torch doesn't last forever. There's a very finite supply of battery power. Battery power is also used for night vision you get on the helmet later on as well. Always be afraid when this game gives you lots of items before using something. Pro tip. And now all hell breaks loose. It's a real kind of Left 4 Dead moment here. We're just holding out against a horde of zombies for a little while, and then you're making a mad dash for it. You can see the really nice use of the projected texture for all the flashlights here. They're used really, really nicely in the environments. Luckily your teammates here are really, really good shots. They can take out most of the enemies for you, so you can kind of save a lot of ammo here. The first time I played through this area there were a lot more zombies. And we got out fairly easily this time around.
Hey, take a deep breath. You're safe now. You made it. Just keep walking, alright? Don't think yet. Come on, we gotta move.
Now we can go and meet up with some more of the crew. There are a lot of different characters in this mod. You get to know them all quite well. There's a lot of areas like safe rooms where you can just kind of chill out and talk to them. You can initiate conversations by using them. And it's definitely worthwhile to do so because they have some very, very good dialogue.
What are you doing here?
Yo, I came to join you guys. Look, man, I'm sorry. I wanted to come with you from the beginning. I just didn't want my little brother to follow me around like a puppy. I swear, he always goes wherever I go, man. I'm sick of it. I can't babysit his sorry ass every time we get some action. But he's sleeping right now, so it's all good. No, I ain't. God damn it, Junior!
Hey, can anyone hear me? Guys, are you there? Brian! Sorry, mate, I swear, I just turned around. Junior, go on. Hello? Anyone?
Man, you sound like a goddamn thief. Man, you have no shame.
Hey Ben, it's Matthew. We're at the core access with Brian and Junior. Don't worry, it's not your fault. You know how those two are. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah, you can say that, because you're not the one Brian's going to punch in the face.
Right, well don't worry. I won't let it. You just take care, alright? We're about to go in the core now. Tell Malcolm to get ready to open the core access.
Roger
Sorry
that.
to interrupt, but
Right now.
I'm really tired. I haven't slept in days. I haven't eaten since this morning, and I'm all out of bullets. So, wherever your control room is, I'd be really happy to go there.
Heard the man, Junior? He wants you to take him to the control room.
Bullshit!
No, that's not what I said at all. If you could just point me in the right direction.
Junior, listen. I can't focus if you're next to me, man. How many times I told you that? In the Rangers, it was the same thing. Why do you think I went private? I can't fight if you're next to me. So now, you're gonna escort this tired and hungry man back to the control room and make him some tortellinis. I swear that when I come back, we'll play some poker or something, man, alright? How's that?
You're just trying to get rid of me, man.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's either you go back with him or we go back, the three of us, because I ain't leaving you go down there. And if we're going back to that control room, you know what that means? It means poor Matthew and Jake here are gonna be alone down there with no radio or support from Terry and Ben. Do you really want them to die so badly? Is that what you want, huh? You want me to leave them alone?
No, I don't. You know what? Fuck you, Brian. Fuck you, man. You get over here.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up and eat my tortellinis, bitch. I'm the fucking tortellini master.
Oh yeah, he is, man. He's the total tortellini master. For real.
Brian, you shut the fuck up too, man.
All right. Off you go. God damn.
Hey, look. Found a radio.
Oh, well, ain't you one lucky bastard?
Ben, can you read me?
Hi, Matthew, yeah, I hear ya. What's up? What did you forget?
No, nothing. I just found a radio. Wanted to see if it worked. Oh, and, expect somebody to knock on your door.
Alright, I suppose Brian convinced Junior, did he? Looks like I'm off the hook. Hey, listen. As soon as they get here, we're gonna need more space, so we're packing up to get to the second level. We'll leave the gate open for you guys.
Alright, is there any news from Malcolm? Did he try to open the door yet? Does it work?
He's on his way. I'll let you know.
Well, no reason we should wait for his response. But we can try it
Alright,
ourselves.
so now we're going to get access to the core, which is like the main hub of this whole prison environment.
Merry fucking Christmas, everybody.
All the different wings of the facility come off from the hub, and you can kind of go through whichever one you like, according to where you are in the story.
The guard must have set the
Okay, so
sentry on
that's,
motion detector mode.
I say a brief look, but it's been about 40 minutes.
Sight.
Again, there's a lot more to this mod going on. There's a lot more game mechanics, environments. There's a lot more story going on than I've shown you here.
Left to right.
It's incredibly well put together. It's one of the best Source mods I've ever tried, and I definitely recommend it wholeheartedly to you guys. I'll see you next time.